Add to Steve. Hello, investing friends and friends of financial freedom. If you are not AI agents by now, which you probably might be, or I might be, probably wouldn't even know, Agentic AI is eating us all. But who eats the most? Which is the best play? We put together a portfolio of the best Agentic AI plays 3 months ago for club members. It's already up almost 20%, 18% already in 3 months. And there's so much to learn about this Agentic AI coming to eat us all. So many opportunities. Let's dive in and see it. Let's dive in and see this thing. Agentic AI is a whole new paradigm. I have a special treat for you today, a portfolio of Agentic AI plays. Terrific. Thank you so much. What the heck is Agentic AI? Let's dive in and see what Agentic AI is. Imagine just talking to your computer and telling it, go into Excel for me and run some reports, then go into presentation, PowerPoint, and make it into a nice presentation, then go into an email, write a nice, cordial, warm, friendly marketing piece to all of my clients, and then show it to me when you're done. And I may review the work, but I will never actually myself get the hands dirty. This is the idea of Agentic AI. We tell the agents on our computer what to do, and it gets things done for us way faster, way less frustratingly, with many fewer errors. There is something about tech problems, like real life problems can never ever be as frustrating as a tech problem. Am I right? Am I the only one? The Agentic AI systems are defined by being autonomous and goal-driven. Autonomous and goal-driven. Do my work for me. You got it. They have the ability to plan, reason, remember, and execute tasks. That is soon to come. They can adapt and learn, all with minimal human oversight. We just had the AI chip boom. That is both supporting and giving way to the paradigm shifting Agentic AI boom. This is a revolution that will disrupt and transform just about everything. And there are fortunes to be made. How big are the bucks? We're talking trillions. According to PricewaterhouseCoopers, 2.6. Generative AI is poised to make a significant economic impact, with estimates suggesting it could contribute 2.6 to 4.4 trillion annually to global GDP by 2030. The future of generative AI is Agentic AI. So we wrote about Agentic AI or generative AI before, the large language models generating stuff for us. And this is the sort of the best version of generative AI, Agentic AI, these agents that can do stuff for us. So let's build a portfolio of the best 25 Agentic AI plays. There are 5 major themes here: system unifiers, productivity exploders, backbones, proprietary data, and networks. So let's look at the unifiers. The first theme is the system unifiers. These are plays on Agentic AI systems that can deal with everything for us. This is especially important in big firms, in what the heck do you call it? Big corporations. I forget what you call that part of the market, but it's especially in big firms that have. When I worked at JP Morgan, I think there was like 450 different software systems they had there. So imagine just putting an Agentic AI on there, say, go look into all 450 of these software systems and every database and every repository of information and every form we have archived, everything, and take it all in and make sense of it. So this is really big stuff. So unifying disparate processes and repositories. A lot of these big firms have, like, literally there was like a software there, I think from the 1970s. Like it was all black. The background was all black and all the type was green. And they were just terrified to mess with it. So anyway, they've got all these old systems there that they're terrified to mess with at all these big firms. And so these systems, they can go in there and understand and look into everything and say, okay, well, you know what, we'll take it from here. And just update everything and make it all work together. Are you kidding me? It's super, super huge opportunity. So the first one is Datadog. They have an observability platform that acts as the eye in the sky to predict, resolve, and optimize issues and processes with applications and infrastructure. So this is kind of like what we're talking about. And then Microsoft has a partnership with OpenAI. Of course, this was 3 months ago, so I'm not really sure where that partnership is at these days, but they just released their own new language or whatever it is. The AI language that drives it's OpenAI that drives its agentic Copilot AI. So Copilot was already 3 months ago. The CEO was saying, go into Office and see how good that pilot is now. That Copilot is now. That is halfway there to doing everything for us, like we were talking about. It'd go in and do the thing, do the Excel and do the PowerPoints for us. I haven't messed with it, but they're saying 3 months ago it was halfway there to doing everything for us based on our instructions within the Office environment, like we described in the beginning. And then there is ServiceNow. One of the most interesting plays to me goes further than Datadog, does not just observe, but aims to take over the workflow that humans. So I should have made that distinction. Datadog is watching and giving you information and things, but ServiceNow aims to take over the workflows that humans currently hate doing and do slowly. They build themselves as the control tower for all the systems in an enterprise. Enterprise was the word I couldn't think of for the big firms. Unifying chaos of many systems. All these big firms have tons of old softwares, and they're terrified to rip them out. Oracle, likewise, is using agents to automate complex business processes, delivering autonomous efficiency and productivity gains. Good for Oracle, updating itself. And then, of course, there is Palantir using agentic AI to analyze data across disparate systems and make autonomous decisions. There was a really good, they have a zillion use cases these days, I'm sure, but one of their first big wins, I think one of the first was hospitals. Hospitals have a ton of different systems, and they were able to just to look at all and then take over their scheduling and all that stuff. If you were wondering what all the hubbub was with Palantir, it's agentic AI. Palantir stands out, looking at the numbers now. Palantir stands out for its gains in gross margins lately, although they all look good in that regard except for Oracle. So Palantir, 4.1% 5-year gross margin growth rate. So on average, it expands its gross margin by more than 4% a year over the last 5 years. That is terrific. We also know with interest that Datadog and Oracle are spending more on research and development than their free cash flows. That is money that's already been deducted from earnings and free cash flows, and the accounting treats it like it has no further value. But in fact, they could be building something quite valuable. So when you see these companies, if you look through their income statement, they don't have any earnings. But if you see a big chunk of what would have otherwise become earnings, maybe, well, yes, but it was spent instead on R&D, it's like, they don't have profits to show us then. And then if you look over the balance sheet, unless they decide to capitalize it, which they usually don't, in this example, they don't, there's nothing on the balance sheet. So they've done this R&D to create this code for this application, let's say, that is going to make them money maybe for decades, because we know these enterprises are afraid to rip out the software, and it just goes, the accounting just doesn't have a way to deal with it. So that's why the value investors missed the big tech boom forever, because they didn't realize the earnings were they were there. They were just being not shown because of all the code that was being created and going nowhere. They were paying coders to make it, and then it was never showing up on the balance sheet, and it was taking away the profits as well that otherwise would have been there. So I digress. But anyway, Datadog and Oracle are big on the R&D, so that's interesting. And then Bessenbinder, we're going to be talking about Bessenbinder. We're talking about the research of outperforming, what the data says about outperforming. And R&D is one of the keys. One way to look at the situation is to say that they could halt R&D and show earnings like we just talked about. And then there's the returns. We like returns. Get the free book in the description. Talking about outperformance. Returns are one of the very most important things. Datadog has steadily improved its returns on incremental invested capital. So Palantir, its returns on all of its capital it has, so that's return on invested capital. And then what about the new capital that's coming in, though? How is each incremental dollar at the margin? How are the returns on that one? Are you running out of opportunities to reinvest at high rates? Datadog is not. Its returns on incremental invested capital are doing well. What are they? They went from negative to 3 to 4 to 7 over the last 10 years. The average is -6. Over the last -3. Over the last 3, it's over the last 5 it's 3. Over the last 3 years it's 4. Over the last 1 year it's 7. So it's getting better and better is the point. And again, remember that's based on net income, which will have R&D taken out of it. ServiceNow has surprisingly bested Microsoft. So ServiceNow has been a better performer than Microsoft, which was interesting to me. And then that is the unifiers, the system unifiers. And then there are the productivity exploders. So we're on the precipice of a major explosion in productivity. McKinsey is predicting, and so this agentic AI is going to eat us all, but it's going to eat some parts of us, some parts of the economy more than others. Specifically, McKinsey is predicting sales, marketing, software engineering, and customer operations will see the most profound effects. All right, and there we have that. And so here, as such, here are the 5 best positioned companies for the productivity explosion. AppLovin has its Axon advertising engine taking autonomous action. This is what they were always talking about, their AI engine for ad targeting in gaming and e-commerce. And my gosh, have they been crushing it. As with Palantir, if you were wondering what all the fuss is with AppLovin when it was the hot stock, it's agentic AI. All right. And then we have Salesforce has its Einstein AI agent. We'll just talk about this. Salesforce is right there. We said that one of the major areas that agentic AI is going to help, I can't want to look at that, is sales and marketing. Well, Salesforce, my gosh. So the idea is you have all of your clients and all of their data and all that stuff, and you just have the agentic AI constantly matching up your clients with things that they want. And so everybody that's doing sales has the potential to explode their sales numbers. So Salesforce, and then there's JFrog. They have an agentic AI platform for software development. They have a repository for software packages. And so the idea is with all this agentic AI doing things on its own and with all of this software engineering. So the idea is with vibe coding, you tell the computer, write the code for me. So there's going to be an explosion in code, and you're going to need some place for the repositories to store all that stuff. And that's what JFrog has. And then there is GitLab, which is the environment where you actually go in and create the code. Now that is just for the enterprise, is not for you and me, but that is what they do there. And it was not at the cutting edge. I guess Claude is the cutting edge of vibe coding, but that's what they're doing for the enterprise, using AI to help with software development for the enterprise. And then Tesla has its autonomous driving and robotics, both physical manifestations of agentic AI that could be super lucrative. GitLab jumps out for its gaudy R&D. Again, remember that R&D makes its earnings look worse, but it's actually just making them not pay taxes on their earnings while they're building something for the future. And JFrog's return on incremental capitals is steadily improving, and GitLab, so is GitLab's. Super interesting. And that each of their histories gives us something to hang their hats on. So with some of these other ones, there's more of a theme running through them. Each of these just has a nice thing that's different. And then there's the backbones. Our agentic overlords will need physical support in the form of chips and infrastructure. Perhaps the 4 best positioned companies are, well, where's the rest of it? You got to join the club, my friend. I can't give away everything for the members get. So join us in the club, and I will see you in the Discord. We got a whole new, I have a treatise of what we're doing here. I was talking about the data on outperforming and everything. So we've been doing a lot of stuff, and we're going to get it tighter. I'm working on a lot of stuff. I can't wait to bring it to you. So I'll see you soon. See you in the Discord. Have a great day. See you in the Discord.